Welcome to the Calvert County Planning Commission regular meeting agenda for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. I'm going to take attendance in order to do a determination of quorum. Commissioner Berry, are you up there, buddy?
He has not been able to join yet.
Okay. Wilson Freeland.
Here.
Christopher Gadway.
Present.
Greg Kernan.
Present.
James McQueen.
Here.
I'm here, and Dale Weems
Here.
is here. So we have 6, and that's enough for quorum, and hopefully Commissioner Burrow will join us by Zoom as we move along. So, as we have a quorum, we are called to order. If you'd all stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, we have in front of us the proposed agenda for this evening. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve and adopt, please.
Second.
Certainly. And
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The proposed summary of action. We have the August 20th Planning Commission public hearing.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Is all right with you, sir? Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And also we have in front of us the August 20th, 2025 Planning Commission regular meeting notes. And I think that
Yeah,
Mr. Freeland might have a comment.
Mr. Chairman, under the section proposed repeal and replacement of the agricultural preservation rules and regulations, my comment on the next to the last line at the bottom should be the state rural legacy program. It's listed here as a legacy.
Well, it's
program.
state legacy, and it should be
Should
state
be
rural
Maryland Rural
legacy.
Legacy Program.
Maryland Rural Legacy Program. Okay.
With that, I move that we accept the amended.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any against? Okay. And we're gonna turn it over for recognition of persons attending the meeting. Sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jason Brinkley. I'm the Director of Planning and Zoning, sitting in for Tamara Blake Wallace this evening. Also joining us from Planning and Zoning is Tay Harris, Long Range Planner, Becky Parkinson, Planning Commission Clerk, Kelsey Holland, Acting Planner 1, Kat Lockwood, Planner 2, Amalia Pleat-Tam, Planner 3, Charlene Johnson, Planner 1, John Mattingly is the Planning Commission Attorney, and Shashida Warner from Calvert Public Schools is with us as well. And then that brings us to item number 6, which is major subdivisions for final review and action. There are none before us tonight. Item number 7 is application on site plan review and action. There are also none. Item 8 is major subdivision applications for preliminary review and action. There is also none. That brings us to item 9, which is long-range planning. And item 9A is the priority funding area certification for Calvert Elementary and Calvert Country school sites.
Good evening, I'm Tay Harris. I'm the long-range planner for the Department of Planning and Zoning. And this is Shashida Warner. She is the Director of Planning and Construction for Calvert County Public Schools. Tonight we're here to talk to you about a priority funding area request, or certification request. The Calvert County Public Schools is seeking a priority funding area certification request for the Calvert Country and Calvert Elementary school site located at 1450 Dares Beach Road in Prince Frederick. This is in preparation for the site's redevelopment. The Maryland Department of Planning advised the Department of Planning and Zoning and Calvert County Public Schools that the site is eligible for a PFA designation under Section 57B03 of the State and Finance Procurement Article. The criteria for meeting this section is that the property must qualify as an area where principal uses are for employment, and the site is served by public sewer or is planned for public and community sewer in the 10-year water and sewer plan. Whoops. The Department of Planning and Zoning has found that the subject property is adjacent to the priority funding area in Prince Frederick. It serves the Prince Frederick area, including the PFA in Prince Frederick. It is designated a growth area on the 2017 growth tier map. The designation is specifically Tier 1A, which means it is designated for growth but not residential growth, and this is why it can be classified as an employment as its principal use, and also because it's a school site. The tier map is also located in the 2010 and 2019 Calvert County Comprehensive Plans. The site is currently served by private water and sewer owned by the Board of Public Education, and the site is planned for connection to the Prince Frederick Sewer Service Area and Water Service Area following site redevelopment in 2031. This slide is incorrect. Actually, the Planning Commission has determined that this site is consistent with the Calvert County Comprehensive Plan as required under the Land Use Article, Section 1304. And we're asking tonight that you determine that this PFA certification request is consistent with the Calvert County Comprehensive Plan, and the reason, or the findings that the Department of Planning and Zoning have for consistency include that the property is located on the county's tier map and it is designated a growth area, and that the tier map is also located in the comprehensive plans, both the 2010 and 2019. Therefore, we recommend that you determine that this request is consistent with the Calvert County Comprehensive Plan.
Thank you very much. What are we gonna redevelop it as?
So essentially, our long-range plan is that as we build a replacement Calvert Elementary School, we have options for utilizing the existing Calvert Elementary building for potential swing space for a future project. And then also, part of the plan is for Calvert Country School to be a co-located facility with Calvert Elementary. That is one of the, really the only ways that we're going to get state support for a special needs facility. That allows opportunities for the Calvert Country building to potentially be used for regional programs, which we are studying at this point. You may know that we have blueprint requirements in terms of pre-K, so we're looking at that as an option. We're also looking at some other potential regional programs as an option for that building. So really, the use for that site is not going to be anything outside of what it is currently designated for, in the sense of the replacement buildings that would be built would still be Calvert Elementary, Calvert Country. However, the existing facilities, we're looking at alternate uses for those.
Thank you. Gentlemen, questions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
move that we find the proposed priority funding area designation of 1450 Dares Beach Road, Prince Frederick, is consistent with comprehensive plan.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? There we go, 6-0. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Louise.
Thank you.
And that brings us to item 9B, which is the town center survey results. And I do want to note for the record that Mr. Burry is online.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Berg, did we get your vote on that last motion?
He just joined as the motion was being made. so I'm
Okay,
not sure he-
okay, so he would not vote on that, so we're staying at 6. Okay, wonderful, thank you so much. Well, welcome aboard, sir.
And Mr. Chairman, He is online, but there's still some technical difficulties, so he may not be responsive.
All right.
Okay, hi, my name is Tay Harris. Again, I am the long-range planner for the Department of Planning and Zoning. And tonight I'm here to talk to you about the survey results for the Huntingtown, Owings, and St. Leonard Master Plan of Town Centers update. The Department of Planning and Zoning made an online survey available to the public from July 23rd to August 25th for these town centers. The purpose of these surveys were to gather feedback from the public on the vision for each of these town centers in preparation for their master plan updates. Each survey included the following questions. How long have you lived in the town center? If you live outside of the town center, what is your zip code? What is your age group? What are the main draws to the town center? What do you believe the biggest challenge is for the town center? What is the biggest change you have seen in the town center in the last 10 years? In one word, what do you love about the town center? What are the 3 most important topics to be addressed in the town center master plan update? What is the one key element of the town center that you would like to see retained or enhanced? The last question is, do you think the town center should remain a designated town center zoning district or a rural commercial zoning district? In addition to these questions, each survey included an aerial map of the town center and its boundary and a brief description of the town center. There were 89 participants in the Huntingtown survey. As you can see, about 10% lived in the Huntingtown area for 5 years or less, 35% between 5 and 19 years, 22% between 20 and 29 years, 27% 30 years or more. 7% of the participants did not live in Huntingtown. The age groups can be broken down as less than 1% were under the age of 20, 5% were between the ages of 20 and 29, 18% were between the ages of 30 and 39, 18% were also between the ages of 40 and 49, 21% were between the ages of 50 and 59, and 36% were 60 years of age or older. The participants named the main draws for the town center as basic services, and this included the post office, Bones Grocery, Hatchers, gas stations, and the fire department. Sense of community was also cited for churches, schools, medical offices, childcare, and recreation, such as swim and dance opportunities. Shopping and dining was also listed. There's convenience of shopping. There are a few small restaurants. There's also a desire for more family sit-down establishments. The rural character is also enticing. It's quiet, safe, small town feel with open spaces, farmland surrounding the area. The preference is to keep this area rural and distinct from Dunkirk and Prince Frederick. The biggest challenge in the town center is traffic and infrastructure, specifically Route 4 congestion, unsafe intersections, and the lack of sidewalks and trails. There's also an opposition to growth. There's a strong desire to keep that rural community feel and prevent the area from becoming Prince Frederick or Waldorf. There is community division among whether residents want to see the area stay as a town center or be designated something else. Vacant and unappealing businesses are also a concern for participants. There's empty buildings, and there's difficulty attracting useful and retail restaurants. The last thing reported was limited support for amenities. And some of these amenities include trails, parks, and small-scale local shops cited by the participants. The biggest change that the participants saw were, again, traffic and congestion. There's heavier volume, speeding, and more accidents. The sale of Bowen's Market indicated a major shift to the community character. There's new housing development along Cox Road and Dismody Drive, which is located outside of the town center but impacts the traffic within the town center. There's also the new medical and professional building, new churches, and then the fire department updates were noted as big changes. Another big change was business turnover, and that's closure of small shops and banks converting to churches. And then the community character. While some people or participants felt that little has changed, they see this as a positive thing. Others are concerned for gradual growth and accumulated change. The most loved characteristics of the town center are its rural and small town characteristics. It's quiet, peaceful, relatively low traffic, and minimal development. It also has a sense of community and safety, which people feel it's neighborly, family-oriented, and they also feel there's low crime. There's local charm and tradition. There's a quaint historic feel and a country atmosphere. Participants also enjoy convenience. There's easy access to local stores and services. They also like nature and open space. Again, the farmland, wooded areas, and open space in the town center and hunting town area. And then they support local businesses, and they would like to see more family-owned shops and mom-and-pop stores. The three top concerns, whoops, I skipped a question. The things that the participants would like to see kept or retained or enhanced include the small town feel. They'd like to limit growth and encourage local businesses and discourage big box development. They'd like to improve infrastructure, particularly traffic flow, sidewalks, and bicycle and pedestrian safety. Enhance community amenities, playgrounds, parks, green space, and a space for events. And they'd like to keep their community anchors of the fire department, post office, and the area's historic character. The top three topics that were chosen in the survey are land use, environment and natural resources, and then park and recreation. When asked if they'd like to see the town center remain designated as a town center or be designated as a rural commercial zoning district, 39% of the participants weighed in as saying they wanted the town center to remain, and 60% indicated they would like to see the area designated as rural commercial. For the Owings area, there were 214 participants. Less than 9% of the participants lived there in the area less than 5 years, 29% between 5 and 19 years, 31% between 20 and 30 years, 26% 30 years or more, and then 6% did not live in the Owings area. The age group of the participants are broken down as such. Approximately 1% are under the age of 20, 2.35 or 2% are between the ages of 20 and 29, 10% are between the ages of 30 and 39 years, 22% between 40 and 49 years, 20% between 50 and 59 years, and 43% were 60 years or older. The main draws to the Owings Town Center include basic services such as the post office, the gas station, dash-in, the veterinarian clinic, and then the small-scale shopping. They indicated that there are some shops there and medical services. They are limited, but they are used. Participants enjoyed the lifestyle and the location. Again, it's a rural, quiet, safe community, and it's convenient to MD24. While there are minimal draws in the town center, the participants do not mind this because they rely heavily on Dunkirk and Prince Frederick to meet their needs. They'd rather see this area stay more rural. The biggest challenge, traffic and roads. They have concerns about congestion on MD 260, as well as Route 2. They also have access concerns across MD 260. There are concerns that overdevelopment will occur. So again, there's a desire to keep the area rural in character. They also are worried about impacts of additional growth on the environment, such as Hall Creek's wetlands. And then there's also the past occurrence of flooding that has happened in the area. And they are worried about public water and sewer impacting environmental resource lands. They acknowledge that there is a lack of identity or draw. There are scattered businesses. It's not very walkable. They have to rely on nearby centers to meet their needs, but again, they're okay doing that. They would just like it to be more walkable, the area to be more walkable. There is community opposition to growth overall. The biggest change we've seen in the last 10 years is traffic. Again, it's heavier. There's more aggressive driving, longer waits at intersections, and there's more congestion from beach traffic and from new housing. The area's seen business closures, the bank, pharmacy, medical office, and other small businesses, leaving vacant and unused buildings in the area. Many have said there's been little or no change. Some of the participants see this as stagnation, while others view it positively. Has been housing growth in the area, so few had noted that the single-family homes are generating more traffic, and there's an overall decline in appearance in the town center. Some participants said that some of these vacant buildings look dumpy and underutilized. And rising home prices and increased crime are a concern for some of the participants. There was a mention of the gun range, but there is no gun range in Owings. I guess there's one in the area.
It's going to be on 4.
Okay.
That refers back to the lack of identity of where is Owens.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, just a minute. All right. In one word, what do you love about Owings? Again, it's a small town character, a quiet, small, peaceful feel to the area. There's a feeling of community and safety. The area is convenient to the people that access it, and then the participants enjoy the environment and the natural resource lands, such as the woods and the wetlands, and they also feel the area is clean. Key elements to retain or enhance the rural and small town character. Participants would like to see limited development, retain the community and heritage ambience of the area, as well as green spaces and public spaces. Participants would like to see enhanced walkability and amenities. The top 3 topics identified are land use, environment and natural resources, and parks and recreation. When participants were asked if they'd like to see this area remain a town center or designated a rural commercial area, 49% indicated they would like the area to remain a town center, while 61% indicated they would like to see the area designated as a rural commercial area. And then lastly, we have St. Leonard. There were 488 participants that took the survey. 17% were less than 5 years, or lived in St. Leonard area less than 5 years. 33% between 5 and 19 years. 20% between 20 and 30 years. 25% lived in the area 30 years or more, and then 5% did not live in St. Leonard. 1% were under the age of 20 years of age, 5% were between 20 and 29 years of age, 14% were between 30 and 39 years of age, 17% were between 40 and 49 years of age, 22% were between 50 and 59 years of age, and then 42% were over the age of 60. The main draws to St. Leonard include the local restaurants and food establishments, such as the Tavern, the Happy Buddha, and takeout and cafes. Additionally, there are shopping and local businesses such as the Dollar General, Fast Stop liquor stores, Chesapeake Marketplace, antique and thrift shops. The convenience services include gas stations, the post office, childcare, convenience stores, and ATM access. Community and small town atmosphere was also named as a main draw. Participants felt that the area was a close-knit community, as quiet and rural. Some participants also cited education and work. Local schools are nearby, again, childcare, and then employment opportunities. The biggest challenge that participants identified in the town center in the last 10 years include limited retail and dining opportunities. There are a few grocery stores, restaurants, and cafes, and there's a high business turnover. Infrastructure and growth constraints are also a challenge for the town center. There's no public sewer, there's limited water, there's small lots, limited parking, and traffic issues. Preserving small town character, participants would like to see balancing growth with the rural quiet atmosphere with any kind of development pressure. Appearance and maintenance, there are aging buildings, vacant storefronts, and poor landscaping. Community and zoning. Zoning restrictions, slow permitting, participants feel keep the area from growing, but also it keeps it family friendly and helps control growth. There are limited amenities and walkability. Participants cite a few sidewalks, parks, and gathering spaces, and concerns about pedestrian safety. Business attraction and viability. Participants feel it's hard to attract retail and restaurant establishments, and that there's competition from nearby town centers and other areas. And then traffic and safety. There's single access road into the town center, and is often congested, and there's concerns for intersection and pedestrian safety. The biggest change that participants cited are businesses, the new openings of Dollar General, Fast Stop, and then the relocation of Weems Liquor Store. Traffic and infrastructure, there's been more congestion. However, the traffic circle has been added, as well as sidewalks, and there have been road repairs and lighting improvements in the town center. Aesthetics in the environment, there has been tree removal for development, but also landscaping added at the traffic circle. Housing and population, there's been residential growth, and along with that comes population growth. Community and amenities, there's a loss of public events such as auctions and concerts at the firehouse. The most loved characteristics of the town center are its small town feel, sense of community, its convenience, the farms and rural character, its history, its sense of being a safe space, its slow growth, and its small businesses. The key elements to retain or enhance include preserving its small town charm and community feel, enhancing walkability, access, transportation, infrastructure, amenities, safety, and aesthetics, maintaining green spaces and parks, protecting historic landmarks and heritage, and then enhancing sustainability and protecting natural resources. The top 3 topics identified in the survey are land use, environment and natural resources, and economic vitality. When asked if the town center should remain designated a town center zoning district or designated a rural commercial zoning district, 61% of the participants indicated that they would like the St. Leonard Town Center to remain a town center, while 39% indicated they would like it designated a rural commercial district. So following this survey, the Department of Planning and Zoning has planned outreach meetings, and we are going to explore the following options. Depending on the feedback, we would either retain the designation of town center, retain the designation of town center while distinguishing between minor and major town centers, converting the town centers, one or all or two, into a rural commercial district as well as residential zoning district, and then creating, the last option is creating a small town center style district such as a community mixed use district or a village district. The planned meetings are October 6th for St. Leonard. It's going to be at the Crossroads Church at 150 Bell Road. For Huntingtown, the meeting is going to be on October 14th at the Volunteer Fire Department. And then in Owings, the meeting is going to be on October 20th, and that will be at the Grace Brethren Church. Are there any questions?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
On 15, you talked about the 4 options. One of the options was converting the town center to a rural commercial and residential district, and it would require comprehensive plan changes. Could you explain a little bit more in detail as far as what that would entail and or a needed time frame for that? I mean, would that take a short time period, a long time period?
Well, it all depends on feedback, but it's not going to be a short time period. There's going to be we're going to have to explore these options, bring them back to the Planning Commission as well as the Board of County Commissioners, bring them back to the public, and vet them through. So I would, and if there's actually any of these options would require an amendment to the comprehensive plan.
Mm-hmm.
So once any decisions are made, then we would have to amend the comprehensive plan, which means we would have to come back to the board and to the commission with the recommended changes, seek guidance for 90 or 60-day review. We'd have to go through the 60-day review, receive public comments, agency comments, et cetera. And then we would have to hold public hearings. So the process will take several months.
It takes time to do things right.
Yes.
All right, and it's also my understanding that the public outreach meetings that you explained the dates on are going to be later this month and next month.
So we took the survey results to the board on September 9th. We're here tonight with you all to present the survey results. And then all the public meetings, the initial public meetings, are in October. And this survey is, again, it was conducted in preparation for the Town Center Master Plan updates to receive public feedback on the vision for the Town Center Master Plans. This is not even step 1 in updating the plans. It's pre-step 1, gathering data, in addition to other data gathering and research that's being conducted in preparation for these Town Center Master Plans. So this is one of many steps that must occur for the Town Center Master Plan updates.
So any action taken tonight would have no effect on the public meetings. I'm trying to find out, it would make sense to me to hear more about the public meetings before pushing it forward to the next step. Or is this step required in order to take it to the public information meetings.
This step is we'd like to get guidance and feedback from you all, and at least just inform you that this is the results of these surveys. We're gonna hold these public information meetings. We are gonna come back to the Planning Commission as well as the board to give them feedback of what happened at these meetings, and discuss next steps.
Question, the notice for the next meetings, is it the same mailing list that it was used for the survey? Because I own 5 pieces of property in St. Leonard and never received one survey.
Okay, so we did not mail out postcards this time around.
Okay. So how are the folks getting notified?
All right, so we've sent out a press release. There's postings on Facebook, another social media platform. I'm not sure what it is.
Next door.
Yes.
That's it.
So, Mr. Williams, yes, it's on our website, it's on Facebook, it's on the county Nextdoor app. We're also doing banners at each town center, letting people know when those dates are. Those banners should be going out in the next few days, letting them know the dates and location of it. And just for clarification, the information today is to just get feedback from you all. We're not necessarily seeking action by the
Right.
Planning Commission tonight. We're
Exactly.
just soliciting feedback as we move through this process.
Okay, I've asked this question many times, and maybe somebody give me an answer tonight about why it won't work. I can get a notification that there's a disabled vehicle on top of Thomas Johnson Bridge, but I can't get a notification that there is a community meeting in my zip code that I should attend. I mean, in today's technology, it just blows my mind, we can't do that.
Well, so what I would recommend is that you go to the Town Center Master Plan Update webpage and hit the Notify Me button. That's where you would get a notification of these meetings. The postcards, obviously, we've experienced, they weren't foolproof going to everybody's property. But I do recommend that you go to these web pages of any of these town centers, hit the Notify Me button, and you should receive a notification of any status update.
Could we have that added to any correspondence that you're using for the notifications now, so people can see it and it's in their face to go ahead and sign up for this now?
So the public meetings, there's gonna be on one of the slides, it's one of our typical outreach.
Yes, but I'm saying to add a blurb to the bottom to say, hey, if you're not already signed up, click here now to sign up, and get it in their face all the time until they do.
Maybe we should add it to the banner.
Mr. Williams, that's excellent feedback.
Yeah.
We'll work with CMR to help push out more notice. Some of the public safety notices on a completely different band of information, so we couldn't really push out public safety style notices, but we can do more alerts. And there's also a Calvert County app that people can download that will give them more up-to-date notifications on when events are happening.
Okay.
I need some guidance on what action. The memo, conclusion or recommendation is providing the board's feedback and seeking confirmation to move forward. The move forward is what I'm curious of, because there's fundamental things that I'm becoming more and more against in the comprehensive plan and the updates, especially after seeing public feedback. And I don't want to, quote unquote, move forward if I don't want to support moving it forward unless there's multiple other opportunities in the near future to change, especially moving it forward. Again, I'm using that word because it's a word in the memorandum, prior to any of the public meetings.
Okay, so moving forward just means we want to move forward with the public meetings.
That's what it is.
Okay,
That's it.
Okay.
Because during this process, we come to you and brief you on every step of the process so that you're well informed when you're making decisions. And this is just the next step.
so the only action that we would have and quote-unquote moving it forward would be to ask for you guys to go to the public meetings, to schedule and have the public meetings and come back with results.
Yes,
Have the public meetings already been scheduled and published?
yes.
I think Mr. Mattingly has something to say.
The issue, John Mattingly, the issue, as rightly pointed out by Commissioner Gadway, was the comment in the memo regarding moving forward. If you look at the suggested motions, the way I kind of looked at that was almost to allow this board to retain its informational, its powers to require more information from staff. So if the information at this stage is acceptable, then you could make a motion to move forward as outlined. If this board wants more information, or wants to see other things added, even at this stage, obviously you still have the power to do that, and that's the alternative motion. And I understand that as presented, it was almost for informational purposes. But remember, this board has the power to shape what direction any changes to the comp plan, any kind of permutations of the comp plan are well within this board's purview to seek more information and to guide which way the staff is going to go. So that's kind of how I made the suggested motions there, and I think that that is consistent with what Tay put in her memorandum.
Thank you, counsel. And my only, or my biggest thing that gives me pause, I hesitate to make a motion to proceed with, to use the words, to proceed with Town Center Master Plan updates as outlined when I'm opposed to the Town Center Master Plan updates that are outlined. So that's why I'm making this question. I would like to see things change, but I also want to hear public opinion from the public meetings.
Absolutely. I just want to go back, and it was I believe 2 or 3 meetings ago, you'll have to help me here, where you actually did have, you affirmatively, I guess, ordered, for a lack of a better term, that the Planning and Zoning Board, in fact, move forward with this idea of compressing all the town center plans into one document. So that is part of this, the way I looked at it. So this would be the steps in proceeding with that plan to basically take all the town centers and put them in as they're moving forward now. Yeah, I mean, the other thing I do want to point out is that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, but the BOCC also wanted these informational meetings. So either we say, yes, we want the informational meetings or not. The BOCC is well within their power to say, yeah, we want these informational meetings.
Exactly.
So,
Mr. Gadway, we've already been directed by the BOCC to host these.
Right, understood.
And Mr. Mattingly will correct me if I'm wrong, but I would assume the motion can simply be host those informational meetings and present the results back to us.
I'm prepared to attempt a motion that I would be very happy to have anyone correct and/or offer a friendly amendment to.
absolutely.
Right.
I would just once again point out that really no motion would probably be required because this is for informational purposes, but I think it's important that this board retains its power to ask staff to make those changes or gather that information that you want to see the next time it comes before you. And I didn't want to limit you to saying, oh, well, we're just going to go the way it's going. There may be things that you want this staff to bring in front of you next time. So I wanted to leave that option there.
All right. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Certainly, sir.
I would like to move that we defer further action and direct staff to provide information concerning the public hearings that are coming up in October, as well as a brief synopsis of the necessary steps to change town centers from Town Center to rural commercial, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
To rural commercial, and present said additional information for planning commission review at the next meeting, which, looking at it, could not be the next meeting because the town centers would not end until October, so that would be the November meeting.
I have a point of order question.
Certainly, sir.
Is this even necessary since this information is going to come back to the planning commission anyway?
I believe that Mr. Gadway's motion, though, is seeking additional information,
Okay.
but am I wrong, or you just want, before we do anything else, you want to see what those meetings produce?
Council is correct. There's 2 additional points. One additional point was the information from the public meetings, and the second additional point was concerning the steps necessary in order to change from town center to rural commercial.
Okay, I accept that, sure.
Accepted enough to second it?
Sure, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Sir.
Mr. Burry is online. He's having trouble communicating, but he is able to view what's going on. He has asked if he can participate in this motion.
Certainly.
Okay, and I don't know, he's been texting Becky.
And does he have a comment at this point? Are we gonna defer to Mr. Burry?
I asked him if he had comment at this time. He has not responded yet. So I'm assuming there's
Okay.
a slight delay.
So we have a motion and a second in front of us. Do we have any comments or discussion on that?
He said Mr. Burry said, indicated he had no comment at this time.
Okay, thank you. Can we therefore vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There we go. If you can hear Mr. Burry, it would be 7. If not, it's 6.
Just
Okay, thank you so much.
7-0, clarified, 7-0. Yes, sir.
7-0. Hey, thank you so much. You worked very hard tonight. We appreciate it.
Yes, you did.
And thank you, council, for understanding what I was trying to say.
I got the drift when I see your earlier question regarding the dichotomy between town center and rural commercial. I figured that's where you were headed.
So the next item is items for discussion and/or action. There are no items. Item 11 is items of interest. You have the site plan list and the subdivision list. Are there any questions on any of those items on that list? Hearing none, we'll move on to public comments. It's item 12. Do we have anybody that wishes to make a public comment? We do. If you wish to make a public comment, please identify who you are. You have 2 minutes to speak as an individual and 5 minutes to speak if you are a designated representative of the group. While they are figuring that out, there are no participants online that are wishing to make a public comment.
Hi, my name is Sheila Kufal, and I'm from Leslie.
Can you move
Could
up
you-
to the mic so that we,
Hi, can you hear me?
A little bit more, closer,
closer.
please.
Can
Thank
you
you.
hear me now?
That
Thank
sounds
you.
great. Thank you so much.
Can you identify yourself again, please? I didn't-
Sheila Kufal from Leslie. In regards to what Ms. Harris was referring to about the digital notifications of these public meetings, I know that the post office charges 24 cents for bulk mailing, the postage. Not everybody's plugged in to social media. You know, they drive by a banner on the way to their home. They get home and they forget all about it. I would like to recommend that, you know, a piece of paper, 24 cents, be mailed out to the residents. They could put it on their refrigerator, just to seek more of a broad opinion of and, oh, by the way, I don't know, that Ms. Harris did a great job as far as the survey recommendations were concerned. And if you haven't figured it out yet, Calvert County residents want to stay rural. And I know you did a lot of work on the comprehensive plan, I appreciate that. But that's what the 90% of the residents want to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Teresa Ruhlman. I'm going to bring up the APD from the last meeting. I attended both the public hearing and the public informational session, and I just want to bring up a couple things. I'm going to read this because otherwise I get thrown off track. One of my main concerns is that the idea of repealing and replacing all previous versions of the Agricultural Preservation District rules and regulations. Many of those landowners joined the APD under specific terms based on the rules that were in place at the time. These were legally binding agreements. Under the new proposal, all APD landowners, regardless of when they were signed, would now require to follow the new set of rules. I believe this is not only unfair, but potentially illegal. These landowners should be grandfathered in under the terms they originally agreed to. Even County Attorney John Mattingly stated and acknowledged at the August 20th meeting that it raised legal concerns, including the potential for it to be considered, quote, a taking. If I misunderstood you, John, let me know. I also listened to Jennifer David, the rural planner working with the Agriculture Advisory Board. When asked about the issue, she said the changes were meant to bring consistency and to align the new zoning ordinance with the comprehensive plan. If that's the case, and if the goal is to have one consistent set of rules, then I need to ask a couple questions. Why are developers still allowed to move forward with projects that were approved under older zoning rules? Why isn't the density of those projects being revisited to comply with the new ordinance? And why aren't developers being required to modify or remove buildings that no longer align with the updated zoning? Reality is that those development agreements are being honored under the rules that were in place at the time that they were signed. So why is the same courtesy not being extended to the landowners in the APD program? Feels like there's a double standard at play here, one that penalizes private landowners while protecting larger development interests. In closing, I respectfully ask the board to reconsider your approach and any new rules that should apply moving forward, not retroactively, and existing APD agreements should be honored through a proper grandfathering. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no commenters online, so that brings us to item number 13, which is to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Second.
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Freeland. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
We stand adjourned. We'll see you next month. Thank you so much.